Brazil has bid an emotional farewell to its most famous son, Pele. The star striker was laid to rest in his home city, Santos. Fans queued for hours to pay their respects.
Emotions were running high as hundreds of thousands of people have gathered to see the procession of Pele's coffin through the city. The three-time World Cup winner died on Thursday at the age of 82.
The world owes a lot to Pele, especially the dignity of a man that was born poor, black, in a country where prejudice is still high. And Pele did not let this affect him. He knew how to be Pele, the best and the most humble. I'm very sad.
People were standing on rooftops, leaning from balconies and packing the roads to get a glimpse of the Brazilian icon. The procession came to a halt when it passed the house, where his 100-year-old mother Celeste Arantes still lives. It's a day of mourning the man Brazilians call their king, but for many it's a moment to celebrate him as well.
Pele represents a lot, because since I was a kid, I saw him and I was very moved. It's pure emotion today. And we are here at his funeral, and you can see that the whole city has stopped. The whole world has stopped.
Pele, arguably the world's greatest ever player, will be laid to rest after the procession in a private ceremony.
And we can now speak to Tim Vickery. He's a journalist following all of this from Rio de Janeiro. Tim, help us understand the meaning of Pele for Brazilians.
Well, he hasn't played for Brazil for more than 50 years. But even today, when Brazilians travel abroad, there's an instant association. Ah, you're from the country of Pele. And it's association with a country that wins, with a country that wins in style, with a country that wins in style with a smile on its face. He made Brazil the country that everyone wanted to be for a month every 4 years when the World Cup came round. It's a very, very powerful legacy.
And the outpouring of love we've seen there in the report over the past couple of days, it's just been overwhelming. He is now buried in Santos, where he spent most of his career. How did he shape the club, and how did the city and the club shape him?
That's a great question, because there is a global, a national and a local dimension to the Pele story. He spent really his entire career there. There was a little coda at the end in the United States. Now, some might see this as a shotgun wedding because he wasn't allowed to leave. European clubs wanted him, but he was declared a national treasure. But I don't think really he wanted to leave. At that time, he could earn as much in South America as he could in Europe. There was no big gulf in quality between club football on the both sides of the Atlantic, and Brazil at that time only selected players who played in Brazil. So I think Pele was quite happy to stay in Santos. Now, Santos is a relatively small city by Brazilian standards, less than 500,000, but it has an air of a mini Rio de Janeiro around it. It's a port city with a tropical feel. Pele, when he came to the city at the age of 15, was a country boy. He'd never seen the sea. But the first thing he did when he arrived at Santos was rush into the sea and discover that, yes, it really is salty. And I think Santos played a key role in urbanising this country boy, in preparing him first to take over Santos and then to take over the world.
Now that he's gone, what will Pele's legacy be?
I think it's a number of things. One is the primacy of football as the global sport. The most democratic of all sports, the sports where a former shoeshine boy like Pele can shine more brightly than anyone else in the history of the game. And in the primacy of football as the global game, there is the primacy of the World Cup. No one did more than Pele to establish the World Cup as this moment when we all want to down tools for 4 weeks and follow the football. The World Cup essentially is the house that Pele built. While the World Cup is being played, we remember Pele. While we see anyone in a number 10 shirt do something magical, we remember Pele. In that sense, Pele is immortal.
Exactly. Tim Vickery, thank you so much.